Did you know you have the ability to heal with Mother Earth anytime, anywhere? And today I'm going to share a ritual with you on how you can do just that. Now, for the listeners, you can't see that we are actually at Sunset Cliffs right by the ocean. So just know when it comes to the audio, if it's a little bit different than normal, well, it's because I'm actually out here so I could show you how to go through this process. And this is a beautiful ritual of release, of letting go what no longer serves you so that you can create more harmony within yourself, with others, and with our mother, Pachamama, Mother Earth. So this is a unique process, and this is really a combination of both Honoponopono, an ancient Hawaiian practice of forgiveness, and Despacho ceremony, an ancient Peruvian practice of a offering or prayer bundle. This is your invitation. Become the alchemist of your life. You decode your heaven on earth and go through the alchemical process. The alchemist is a master of himself so that he can master life. People thought alchemists were turning lead into gold, but they're really crystallizing their soul into form. Alchemize your golden potential. Welcome to the golden life. Before I get into that, I want to share why rituals are so powerful. And that is because we put our whole being into the practice. Now, what am I talking about when I say we put our whole being into the practice? Well, an alchemist understands we have different bodies. We're not just made up of this physical body, we're made up of a mental body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and the physical body. So the beautiful thing when you offer a ritual, your mind is in it, your emotions are in it, your spiritual body is in it, and your physical body is in it. So your whole being, just think about how much energy is behind that, is being put into the ritual. And today, we're gonna heal with our mother. In case you forgot, there's the two most important containers that you have. The first one, let's see if you can guess it. You experience it every day. You have to take care of it. It really is your temple. I used to think it was so funny when people would call I'm gonna give it away. If you haven't got it by now, it's our bodies. And I used to think it was kind of funny when I was younger that we'd call our bodies temples. But if you really stop and think about it, it's only because of your body, which is also made up of 75 trillion cells, like I've shared before, who will all do everything, who will sacrifice themselves for you, just so you can have this experience of being alive. Like, how magical is that? You are truly the king or queen of 75 trillion cells. Now, just like cells make up our body, we are the cells of humanity. And what is the second most important? Well, maybe it's the most important, but what is the second container that is necessary for us? Well, I'm standing on her. It's our mother. And just like there's 8 billion people who make up the cells of humanity, it's only because of our mother, planet Earth, who gives us life, who gives us food, who gives us shelter, who gives us everything we need to live and survive, that we get to have this experience as a collective. And if you have kids, you know you will happily do whatever you can to take away the pain from your child. But it's funny because we tend to forget the Mother Earth will do the same. Our mother is so forgiving. I mean, look at how much we take from her today without giving back. And this ritual is also a practice of giving love to our mother, giving an offering to our mother, because we forget that she is happy to take away our pain. And if you're wondering, David, what have you been holding this whole time? For the watchers, for the viewers, if you're listening, I have this lead brick in my hand. Well, this is going to be our offering for this Despacho or Ho'oponopono ceremony. And she's happy to take our offering of pain, because she knows the more that we give away our pain, the more we can step into deeper love with our mother, with ourselves, and with our fellow brothers and sisters who make up humanity. So, to go a little bit more into the history of this practice, this is the unique combination of the two of both Ho'oponopono. And Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian prayer. And translated, it means ho, to make, and then pono, right. So if you translate it literally, it means to make right. And you're like, what does that mean, David? Well, it means to make right inside of yourself. And how do we do this? By practicing forgiveness. Also means to make right with others. And how do we do this? Well, to practice forgiveness. And it also means to make right with our environment, or Mother Earth. And how do we do this? Yes, practicing forgiveness. Now, pono, to make right, there's not a Hawaiian word for peace, but in the English language, that's the best way to describe it. Right? When we are right with ourselves, when we are right with our fellow brothers and sisters, and we're right in our environment, well, what do we feel? We feel a deep sense of peace. We may even feel this spiritual vitality. And we just feel like we're connected to the web of life. So that's really what we're doing here. Now, the one we're doing today is technically a modification because, fun fact, Hawaiians don't have a word for I'm sorry. And this is why they say, please forgive me. But today we're going to use the more traditional one you'll hear about. It's typically the one you hear about compared to the original classic of what Ho'oponopono means. So this is the process of saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So what this prayer looks like, at least the one that has evolved, is the Ho'oponopono of I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And this is one of the most beautiful prayers you can do to connect with Mother Earth anytime, anywhere. Now going into the Despacho ceremony. Like I said, this is an ancient practice from Peru where they would give a prayer bundle. And this could be roses or flowers or plants or food or items of significance. And what they would do is give it to the earth as an offering. And this was a sign of letting go, of releasing. Because it's only by letting go and creating space that we can truly let more in. So with this practice, they would sometimes take their favorite items and let it be a true offering of really letting go of something they hold dearly and giving it back to the mother as an expression of their love and gratitude for all that she provides for us. So I have in my hand a lead brick because I take people through the alchemical journey. So this is the part of separation, right, on the alchemical journey, like you've heard about in previous episodes. And this is where we are choosing to let go of our pain, to give it back to our mother, because where are we going to end up anyways? Well, our physical bodies are going to go back to Mother Earth, right? The nutrients in our bodies are going to feed some worms, and that's going to feed more of the ecosystem and keep the cycle of life going. So we can honor this also with our mental and emotional pain. And this can be a symbol. So throwing this lead is saying this pain, this wound is no longer going to hold me down. And I'm going to step deeper into my heart because I'm literally letting the lead go that's been around my heart. So I'm going to walk you through this process so that you can do it yourself. You could even invite some friends, some family members, and do this together. It's a very beautiful practice, and I'm going to take you through the extended version. I'm going to give you an opening prayer for the ceremony, as well as walk you through every step of the way. So it starts off with first, grab something of significance to you. Or it could be of something significance to Mother Earth, right? Maybe it's some food that you really love, that you would rather eat yourself, but you can sacrifice it and give it to Mother Earth. Or maybe you find a rock that kind of looks like a piece of lead. Or maybe you have some type of item that has a deep meaning for you that you can offer to give away. And you don't have to do this at the beach. We're just lucky here that I live in San Diego, right by the beautiful place of Sunset Cliffs. Well, you could do this in your backyard, anywhere in nature, because you could also just dig a hole into Mother Earth and give her your offering that way. But now, after you gather your item, we're gonna go ahead and open the ceremony space. So with that, I have a prayer, and this is a prayer you can see in the show notes. This is another thing that I've adopted and made a little bit of my own, but this is a prayer to the 4 directions. So it starts off like this. First, we acknowledge the east direction, the direction of the air element and the sunrise and new beginnings. Each new sunrise brings us new light and new opportunities to grow in wisdom. We ask the grandmothers and grandfathers of the east to always place light in our words and in our hearts and on our paths. The east is the direction of the child, so we pray for the young of the world, that they may grow and live in peace and become good leaders for our tomorrows. We acknowledge the great eagle who sits in the east and carries our prayers to the Creator. May you lift us through air to our highest heights to be with our highest selves. We acknowledge air, the element of the east. May you breathe into me the spirit and pure joy of life. We invite all Eastern spirits of good intent to join us in our ceremony today. Now south. So go ahead and face the south. We now acknowledge the south direction, the direction of the fire element, summer warmth, and abundance. We ask the grandmothers and grandfathers of the south to bring us warm winds of compassion, whose fragrance speaks of distant spring and summer days, to melt the ice that can gather around our hearts, dissolve our fears, melt our hatreds, and kindle our love into flames of true and living realities. South is the direction of the woman, and we honor them as the gateways through which our spirits come to earth. And we ask that women everywhere be protected, for they are sacred. We acknowledge the great serpent who sits in the south and helps us move heartbeat by heartbeat as we shed the skin of our past. We acknowledge fire. May you kindle our spiritual hearts and burn away the dross in our being. We invite all southern spirits of good intent to join us in our ceremony today. And now west. We next turn to the west direction, the direction of the water element, setting sun, and of all the autumn season. We ask the grandmothers and grandfathers of the west to remind us that the end of our days is no more sad than the end of a single day, and that the end is often better than the beginning. West is the direction of the elders, and we honor our elders as the keepers of wisdom and teachers of patience. The West is also the direction of our ancestors, and we proudly acknowledge those who have gone before us and ask for their guidance so we can live our lives as we should. We acknowledge the jaguar who teaches us how to move through our own shadow, our own darkness, who empowers us to navigate the great mystery as we walk in this medicine space, so we are safe to enter the tender truth inside of ourselves. We acknowledge water, the Western element. May the water dissolute our negative feelings and thoughts so we may cleanse and purify to experience true peace. We invite all Western spirits of good intent to join us in our ceremony today. And now north. So go ahead and face the north direction. We now turn to the north, the direction of the earth element and of the winter season that covers the earth with a sparkling crystal carpet above whose deep tranquility every sound is beautiful. We ask the men of the north to temper us with strength to withstand the biting blizzards, yet make us thankful for the beauty which follows and lies deep over the warm earth in its wake. North is the men's direction, and we honor men as the providers and protectors of the family and of the nation. We acknowledge the hummingbird. Please fly into this medicine space and remind us to drink the sweet nectar of life. Teach us discernment and illuminate the path to our soul's nectar so we do not get distracted by false images. We acknowledge the earth element. May you keep us grounded and nourish our heart's desires into fruition. We invite all northern spirits of good intent to join us in our ceremony today. And now up, so facing up. We now raise our eyes to Father Sky, our Creator, the one mind. As we look upon the day's infinite blue sky or admire the countless stars of the night, we are reminded the Great Spirit is vast, beautiful, and majestic beyond our all-knowing or telling. But we are also reminded the Great Spirit is no further from us than the tilting upwards of our heads and raising of our eyes. It is the divine energy of creation. We offer our thanks for all things of creation and for being allowed to be a part of it. We offer thanks for the visions and dreams that help us remember who we are and why we're here, and ask that all people be given this wonderful gift. We ask our Creator to be with us today. And down. We now look downward upon Turtle Island, our source of life. We give thanks to our Mother Earth for all we have, our food, our water, air, shelter, and so many beautiful beings who are brothers and sisters. We ask that we always remain aware that we are all interconnected in the web of life, for there are too many who are blind to this fact. As our mother, the earth has shown us much patience in our greed and thoughtlessness, but now we know better. We ask for the strength to defend Mother Earth when she needs it, as any grown child should defend their mother. We promise to always walk softly upon her face, for underneath our feet are the roots of the trees, the flowers, and the grasses, and there can be no greater aspiration than to strive for a deep respect and connection with all our relations. Finally, we look within and acknowledge our own spirits. We often don't consider ourselves to be of value or to be important, but we are. The Creator, the Great Spirit, is in all of us. We are an essential part of life. We are life in action, loving, moving, growing, and in our center of centers is the home of our heart. May we always return to this place so that we may know the meaning of our journey. From here, the center of our being, we can reach out to all directions and to all our relations. However, we must always remember to be humble, for we are not the center of creation. We must always listen to our hearts, the tiny elder within us who can never lie and never mislead us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So after we open the ceremonial space, go ahead and grab your offering. And I'm gonna make my way to the water here, but if you have a hole, you could start to dig a hole to put the offering into that. And before you just go through the process, coming back to the power of ritual, right? Having our full body into this practice. Now, when I do the alchemical journey and take people through it, they actually walk all the way from my house to this very location. And as they're doing this, this is the invitation for you, is to go inward and take note of how this thing you are now letting go of, whether it be a limiting belief, whether it be an old wound of the past, whether it be how somebody hurt you and now you're practicing forgiveness to them and yourself, take note of how much that weighed you down. But not just physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So the invitation here is to close your eyes and to just take note of all those different ways. Maybe you lost a lot of time getting stuck in your head and not moving forward in life. Maybe you lost a lot of time being depressed and feeling down. Or maybe you lost a lot of time just going in self-sabotage or hating somebody else and not repairing a relationship when you had the opportunity. So take note of that. And as you bring that to your awareness, then the invitation is to go inward and spend some time, close your eyes, hold your offering in your hands, and visualize all the energy from your head, all the energy from your heart, all the energy from your full being in this ritual going into your offering. This is why we use the lead, right? You're letting go of that wound, that lead of the past, and you're putting everything into this. So you're closing your eyes and just taking note of all the different ways the past pain has held you down, held you back from letting your true light, your golden essence being shared with the world. And as you do, you visualize it all going into this offering, fully letting it go from your being. And as you do that, you can go ahead and pause this if you need to and take your time. The invitation here is to really take your time. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and get ready to start Ho'oponopono prayer with Mother Earth. And the invitation here is to go through each part of the process, but really take a moment in between to connect with your offering and to connect with Mother Earth and truly feel it, not just mentally, but also emotionally, physically, spiritually, put your full being into the practice. So holding your offering, you can even go quiet for a moment here. When I do this myself, I'll just get quiet and just take a moment to connect with Mother Earth. And it could be as simple as feeling yourself grounding into the surface of the earth. If you're visual, you could visualize roots growing from the bottom of your feet going into the earth. If you like to feel, you can feel the energy, your energy, or Mother Earth's energy rising up, or your energy going down into the center of the planet. From that space, just taking a moment to ground, to connect. You can even say, hey Pachamama, hey Mother Earth, how are you doing? Just like you would come up to a loved one. And then when you're ready, holding the offering in your hand, you can start the first part of the prayer. And that is, I'm sorry. And the invitation here is to really spend time with I'm sorry. If you have completely forgotten about Mother Earth and just showing her any love will really mean it. And you can continue to share, if you would like, internally what you're sorry about, or even say it out loud to Mother Earth. And just spend as much time feeling it, feeling the emotions, thinking through all the different ways that you're sorry for how you've shown up, or you're sorry for the pain you've held on to, and fully having your body and your spirit in it as well. When you're ready with that, when you go inward, really going through why you're sorry, really sharing that with Mother Earth. Well, when you're ready, you can go ahead and move to the next part. That is going to be, please forgive me. So when I do this with a client, they say, please forgive me out loud, and then they just go inward. And think about all the things they're asking for forgiveness, or who they're asking to forgive, or all the pain they've held on to, and asking for forgiveness so they can let it go. So you spend as long as you need here, but when you're ready to continue through the prayer, the next part, after you ask for forgiveness, not only do you go through all the ways you ask for forgiveness, but then you listen for the moment Mother Earth responds in some way and gives you that forgiveness. Because guess what? She's always going to forgive you. She's our mother. And this could be in different subtle ways. Maybe you get that intuitive whisper. Maybe you get a warm feeling somewhere in your body. Maybe there's a special gust of wind that shows up, or a special ray of sunshine, or in this case, some water that splashes on you. Whatever sign, feeling, or sensation, or sound that is for you, just trust your intuition, trust your gut. And then when you hear that, feel that, or see that, go ahead and say, thank you. And the invitation here, once again, is to go inward, and you can think about all the things that you're grateful for when it comes to what Pachamama offers for us. And after you think through all those things and feel that gratitude as deeply as possible, because I just have to emphasize, without her, we don't have this wild experience called life. And then after you go through that process with thank you, the last part is to say, I love you. Put your full being once again into this process of saying I love you. And then after you go inward with I love you, go ahead and take a moment, and you can't fully release something until you honor it. So honor this offering you have, right? In the case of the lead, honor the way your pain has held you back, or your wounds or your limiting beliefs has held you back. And spend a moment. You already put all your energy into this offering. And then when you're ready, you go ahead and give your offering. And if you're not throwing something into water, you can dig it into a hole, or you could burn it and let the smoke rise up. So in this case, I'm going to give my offering back to Mother Earth. Go inward. Say any other prayers you want to say, and throw it. And then just go inward and see what sensations come up for you. If you have more to say to Mother Earth or even yourself, go ahead and go through that process. As any feelings, sensations, or thoughts come up, you give yourself space to go through those fully. Then take note of how your body feels, right? What emotions are you feeling? What opportunities now come up now that you let this go? And how can you continue to walk softly upon Mother Earth's face? And if you want a beautiful practice, when I take people through the alchemical journey, this is the part where we'll grab a trash bag. Like I shared in one of the previous episodes, you could have a simple practice of connecting with Mother Earth, even like on a weekly basis, and you just bring a trash bag. Here at Sunset Cliffs, I'll always see cigarette butts. So I know if I bring a trash bag and pick up some cigarette butts on my way out, it's a beautiful practice of showing that love. And that gives you more opportunity to see the magic in everyday life. That lets you feel more connected with Mother Earth. And as you feel more connected with Mother Earth, you start to feel more connected with the web of life. And then you see that reflected back. And then you're in this beautiful cycle of giving and receiving. And you're going to have more magic show up in your life. So I want you to celebrate yourself. I hope you didn't just listen through this ritual here. I hope you are actually putting it into the practice. Now, if you're driving and doing something and listening to it, I get it. But the invitation here is to actually experience it, right? Because we only gain wisdom and we only gain the power of forgiveness, of healing ourselves and connecting deeper by actually going through these experiences and by actually going through rituals that help us find that inner peace, find that inner love, and connect deeper with life itself. So thank you. I love to hear how this ceremony goes. If you have any questions, reach out. And if you have a loved one or a friend or a community that you would love to share this practice with, we'll let them know you were thinking about them and that you would love to invite them to join you in this offering. So go ahead and share this link. Go ahead and share this video or podcast with them and tell them, hey, let's go do this Honoponopono Despacho ceremony. I probably should think about a new name for this. If you got some fun ideas, I'd love to hear it. But enjoy this ritual. It's been one of the most meaningful practices I've taken my clients through, and I know it's going to help you on the path. Stay golden.